Last time on Sealed Only Sunday. The Pact is an incredibly powerful item, but only in the way that the viewers want. Pendulum Evolution, which is actually quite an interesting set, but it hosts almost nothing that we necessarily want to play. Albertian off the top, wow! Accumulating up to 675 DP total. That is absurd, but more so than anything, we completed our challenge. Alright everyone, listen up. I can't believe this myself, but last week was actually a decently good week. I can't believe it. Yeah, we went 2-1-1, which is, at least more wins than losses, I suppose. But more than anything, we actually broke a meta deck. Not only a meta deck, but Zooey's 60-card Engines deck, which is literally 60 cards of meta relevance. I don't think we can break the meta more than that. Regardless, welcome back to Sealed Only Sunday, where of course last week was a complete joy by comparison to all the other weeks we've had, and this week we're going to be taking a look at a shop which I'm hoping has a lot of things we can spend money on, cause our wallet is stacked. Not only that, but considering last week when we went through the math mechs we just acquired, I'm kind of interested in using them, I'm gonna be honest. I like the math mech sort of Cyber's synergy there. We actually did manage to use multiplication once to summon Dingirsu. It was kind of nice. We'll have to see what strategy we can improve on once we get to the store, but if I do have a choice, I think I want to stick with the Cyberses. They're kind of cool, their generic support is really good with cards like Lady Debug and Silent Mining. I think we're gonna go for it. Alright, with no further ado, let's head over to the store and spend some dough.
Right on time. Welcome to the shop, Wolfie. Gemandini let me know that you've acquired a star chip. Those things are incredibly powerful in this world, so I have gone ahead and opened the upgrade shop for you. Once you are finished with your normal shopping, let me know and I'll bring it up for you. Okay, enough talk, shopping time.
Wait, did a robot just have a voice crack? What happened, Todd? Anyway, looking at this week's shop, holy moly. We've got some absolute powerhouses to choose from today, and I'm not into it. Having a look at the sets, we're looking at Rising Rampage, Chaos Impact, Ignition Assault, and Ancient Guardians. Promotional products is where we're going to make or break today, though. Ghost from the Past is very interesting because it hosts a few archetypes that could power up our strategy, namely Time Thieves. But that structure deck, that's Rocket Revolt. One of, if not the best structure deck ever released, barred maybe only by the Salamangreat one. That is way too good to pass up, I think. The fact that we can, for nearly half our budget at least, pick up a very consistent core that not only adds some very needed consistency, it gives us so many extra deck cards to use. I think it has like 7 or 8 different monsters we can shove into the extra deck to actually be able to do something with. Let's just do a quick scan of all the sets currently available to us, shall we? Let's start with Rising Rampage. We have seen this set before, being host to Appaloosa and Gizmek being the only 2 cards we really have any use for. Other than that, it's home to the Tenyis, the Marinceses, you know the drill with these. Now, a look into Chaos Impact, and things become a little bit more interesting. Chaos Impact is host to Unchained, which is a very interesting archetype altogether, really, but it's also home to Starleech Seafort, which is a decent card for a lot of dragon strategies and might just be worth picking up a couple of packs for. But other than that, the set is really up and down. It does have Draco Berserker of the Tenyi as well as Striker Dragon, So it might just have to be this set that we go in for in case we decide to pick up the Rocket Revolt structure deck. It's really, really good. Then we're having a look at Ignition Assault, which unfortunately is also very good. Home to the Ancient Warriors and Cross Sheep, namely, but also Lightning Storm, the Ignisters, Plunder Patrols, of course. I'd be killed if I didn't mention them, right? But then stuff like Lingaribo, Code Talkers, there's a lot in this set that's to like, and I don't know if we have the budget to spend on it, and that upsets me. Lastly, we're looking at Ancient Guardians, one of the newest sets on the block, but thankfully doesn't really have anything that we want out of it. The one card we might want from this set would be Pankratops, but that comes as a collector's rare, so we're very unlikely to pull that. This week is actually a surprisingly tough one, I'll be honest. There are a lot of directions we can choose to take the deck from here, but I think we have to aim for consistency first. The thing we're lacking in Duels right now is a way to end the game more than blowing the field up. If that's ever negated, we're just dead. We're gonna go for it. I don't think we'll build Dragon Link at the end of things, but it's a damn good start to go for. We are going to purchase the 1 Rocket Revolt we're allowed, and then 8 packs of Chaos Impact. So now with that out of the way, hey Todd, would you mind showing us the upgrade shop?
Absolutely. Just hold on to something for a second. There we are. Much better. Now allow me to explain how upgrading works. As you can see, the fellow duel monsters you have met in the digital world has their own line of upgrades. Generally, there's 2 different paths to take for upgrades. Once you purchase an upgrade, it will become available the following week, and is then replaced with the next available upgrade in the same category, at an increased price. Unlike the shop stock, the upgrades don't rotate every week. Feel free to upgrade them in any order.
That's actually kind of self-explanatory. I like how easy everything is so far. Right, let's have a look at our digital world upgrades for this first ever upgrade, and we have quite a few paths to choose from, actually. Celatron would allow us to sell back any cards that we don't want back to Todd for a bit of DP, but that doesn't really help us right now because we don't really have anything of excruciating value sitting in our bag. Shuffle Time is really interesting though, because this would allow us to manipulate a little bit the packs we can go for the week, and I'll be honest, it's looking quite interesting. The Abyss seems strange. I don't think the twins have mentioned the Abyss to me at any point, so I'll have to look into what that is. And then Morning Blend seems like a very good passive thing to just increase our budget by a little bit every week, but I don't know if that's really what we want to go for right now. You know what, Todd? I think I'm going to upgrade your shop with Shuffle Time. Right, with next week's upgrade set, we'll have a much better way of getting our cardboard. For now, we have a bunch of packs of Chaos Impact to open. I can't wait! Alright, I can't wait anymore. Let's dig straight into our 8 packs of Chaos Impact. Starting off, we got a Action Magic Full Turn, Marojim, Pre-Meteor, the Burning Star, Gladiator Beast Comeback, Dances with Beasts, Some Dragon, Boompoline, Blessed Winds, and an ultra rare off the bat, Draco Masters of the Tenyi. Unfortunately, we don't really have any normal monsters, so it's not incredibly useful for us. Let's go to pack number 2. Galactic Spiral Dragon's really good. Astraghouls, Bonzalone, Mimikuril, Full Turn, Dream Mirror of Karas, Brigeneer, Unchained Twin, Rakia, and a super rare Primordial Congrate. Don't think I'm going to be caring about that one too much either, but hey, Galactic Spiral's cool. Right, let's go for the next pack. Gladiator Beast Comeback, Boompoline, Old Mine, Marincess Cascade, Dances with Beast, Dino Wrestler Marshall Ampello, Astraghouls, Gladiator Beast United, and the Dream Mirror Friend. Oof. Alright, pack number 4, Marincess Battle Ocean, Infinitrack Brutal Dozer, Dream Mirror of Chaos, Marincess Crown Tail, Crusher Run, Mimikuriel, Gladiator Beast Comeback, Blessed Winds, and Gorgon, Empress of the Evil Eye. I had no idea Brutal Dozer was in this. Right, pack number 5, Tachyon Spiral Galaxy, Marincess Sea Angel, another Brutal Dozer, Old Mind, Desert Locusts, Beowater, the Baneful Barrel, Marincess Crown Tail, Marincess Mandarin, and Galaxy Satellite Dragon. I'm in shock because I legitimately forgot the Finitrax were in here. Uh-oh. Pack number 6, Crusher Run, Infinitrack Brutaldozer again, Old Mind, Dances with Beasts, Protocol Gardna, Cauldron the Old Man, The World Legacy, Marinsis Mandarin, and another Dream Mirror bullshit card. Why are we getting Marinsis and Brutaldozers? Come on. Pack number 7, Marinsis Sea Angel, Soul Envy, Marinsis Battle Ocean, Watt Train, Marinsis Cascade, Marinsis Crown Tail, Dino Wrestler, Marshall Ampello, Marinsis Mandarin, and another Draco Masters of the Tenyi. We have a full playset of Mandarins. What is going on? For the last pack, we are looking at Bayonetter, the Blade for Barrel, Burning Shell, Battle Ocean, Pneumakia, Luna the Dark Spirit, The World Legacy, Marinsis Snow, Hoppier Squadron, and oh my god, Striker Dragon! Yes! We didn't waste our time completely. We got a card we can use! Oh, that makes me so happy. At least we invested into one of the cards we wanted. I'm a little bit sad we didn't see a Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, because that would have been really, really good. But I'll take a Striker Dragon any day. Well, I got no real complaints on this one. We got one of the cards we came for at the very least. I honestly think we can do something cool with this now. Let's just head on right over to the deck build and we'll see what I come up with. Shocking next to nobody, there is a lot of changes going into the deck this week. Not only do we allow ourselves a probably actual chance, but we have a great start for something that may just spiral out of control quickly. I will go over the entire deck this time very rapidly, simply because we kind of need to. Still playing 3 Machina Citadels because they are the main playmaker of the deck. We're playing 1 Galactic Spiral Dragon because surprisingly this can make literally everything on the field into a level 8, so it fulfills the exact same mission that Multiplication did, just on a much grander scale, meaning we can very easily go into Dingirsu. 2 Machina Aerators because they are still normal special summonable level 8s. Irradiator for the same reason, also playing 2. 1 Megaform because it has been a surprisingly good beatstick during the times when we've needed it. 1 Absolouter Dragon, simply because this is a free special summon as long as we control a rocket, and there's quite a few times that we can do that. 3 Machina Fortress still, because Fortress is a it's a key to playing any of the Machinas. 3 Gear Frame in order to help us search for the Machinas themselves. 1 Rocket Recharger, 1 Rocket Tracer, 1 Silver Rocket Dragon, 1 Rocket Synchron. Rocket Recharger is a level 4, it's weird. If a dark monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one of the destroyed monsters, special summon a dark monster from your graveyard with a different original name than that one. Basically put, it allows us to special summon dark monsters from the grave. Then we have Rocket Tracer, which is of course the main playmaker in a rocket deck. As a quick effect, you can target one face-up card you control and destroy it, and if you do, special summon 1 rocket monster from your deck except Tracer. It's pretty good. Silver Rocket Dragon is when a Link monster's effect is activated at target this face-up card on the field, you can destroy it, then look at your opponent's extra deck and banish a card from it. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field this turn, you can special summon a rocket monster. It's pretty good. And then Rocket Synchron is a level 1 tuner, but that's basically all it's really useful for. We're then playing 1 Dragon Shrine, because Dragon Shrine can help us dump Galactic Spiral Dragon or Absolouter Dragon to the graveyard, 3 Machina Redeployment to search for our Machina boys, 1 Return of the Dragon Lords to special summon either Galactic Spiral Dragon or Absolouter Dragon should they end up there, 1 Cosmic Cyclone in the main deck, 1 Limiter Removal in the main deck, 1 Quick Launch, because special summoning a rocket from the deck is not broken at all, 1 Rapid Trigger, because yes, we can in fact make the Borreload Fusion monsters, we may as well try, 1 Boot Sector Launch, 1 Boro Regenerator, simply because we can get a rocket back, 2 Machina Overdrives, because it's still a very good card, 1 Magic Cylinder and 1 Mirror Force, because let's be honest, who's going to see those coming, 3 Solemn Strikes, and then 2 Crusher Run. Crusher Run is a very, very interesting card for Earth Machines. If a face-up Earth Machine monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. This is a continuous trap. It's pretty good considering we blow ourselves up literally all the time, and now we get to pop a card for free for it. It's pretty neat. Then, for the extra deck, we are for the first time ever playing a full 15. I can't believe it. Borreload Furious Dragon is in there, arguably the worst of the special summons we have since it requires so many materials, but being able to pop a card is pretty decent. Dingirsu, of course, is still there. Dingirsu is amazing. Borreload Dragon is what I've been looking forward to the most, because this is a legitimate boss monster that is more than just bonking face. If it attacks into a monster, we can, as a quick effect, steal that monster and negate our own attack. it's pretty good. We can also lower things by 500 attack or defense, which could come in handy. Nightmare Griffon is still in here, of course, even though it does way less than it did before. Topologic Zeroboros has also made its way into the deck, even though we don't necessarily banish that many cards. We're playing 1 Draco Masters of the Tenji, simply because it cannot be destroyed by battle with an effect monster, which might come up. 2 Nightmare Unicorns, 1 Triple Burst Dragon to act as a Battle Step Negate, 1 Booster Dragon, simply because it's usable, I guess. 1 Galaxy Satellite Dragon, because we can summon it and no other reason. 2 Puzzle Mino, the drop into leader, which needs to be replaced now that we have other ways of making things level 8. 1 Quad Boral Dragon, which is a free pop, but limits us to summon Dark Link monsters from the deck. And then our 1 Striker Dragon to search Boots Sector. I can't believe we pulled this, but this actually makes the deck somewhat go around. It's incredible. For the side deck, really quickly, we got 1 Perform Age Damage Juggler, 1 Pot of Avarice, 1 Psychic Eraser Laser, our 2 Cosmic Cyclones, our 1 Twin Twister, 3 Back to the Front, 2 Bottomless Trap Holes, 1 Machina Overdrive, 1 Scrap Iron Scarecrow, 1 Imperial Order, and 1 Red Reboot. This deck's gonna get really interesting. I can't wait to see if this helps our deck at all, or if it just messes with what we're trying to do. So with no further ado, let's head over into the Lupine Weekly and see what our community throws at it this week. So, somehow, somewhere, our first match of this week is again up against Osley's sealed-only zombies. Our starting hand is also terrible, so we simply set 3 and pass as he activates Foolish Burial, pitching the Necrobolt Banshee, normal summoning the Glow-Up Bulb, activating Elixir of Black Awakening to get Eldritch onto the board, going into Vampire Sucker, activating both Gloom and the Banshee, getting Valadrock on board with Zombie World. And the game is basically over already, isn't it? We simply have to set another one as we have 2 unsummonable cards stuck in our hand with no cards to activate on field. Shiranui Solitaire comes in, of course, bringing out the Unizombie. Unizombie's going to trigger both effects, sending a Mizuki from hand and sending a Baladrock from the deck. He goes into Wee Witch's Apprentice, activating Mizuki to bring the Baladrock back onto the field, activating Sucker to draw a card, which gets Tsukinoko, special summoning self, going to battle phase, and being met with Mirror Force, the biggest, baddest bonk in the world, making him end his turn. That doesn't matter though, because we draw Absolouter Dragon, which is another unsummonable monster, and I can't believe I'm saying this. We didn't even stand a chance. We didn't get a card we could use. Baladrock and Baladrock returns, normal summoning another Unizombie, pitching a Necrobolt Banshee, and then sending a Mizuki from deck to the graveyard, activating Mizuki to bring back the big boy Sneck, going into F.A. Dawn Dragster and punching us for a massive chunk of damage, going back into Vampire Sucker once again, and we scoop. Game number 2 is not exactly looking much better, but at least we have a normal summonable monster this time around as we activate our Gear Frame. Gear Frame brings us a Fortress, of course, that we are going to choose to skip summoning, going into Aerator, instead of bringing the Fortress back by pitching the Irradiator from hand, equipping it with our Machina Boy, and passing turn. At this point, Unizombie and Zombie World at the same time is going to go down, so we have to activate Aerator now to bring out another Fortress. However, this is not going to end up mattering too much because, of course, Baladrock is going to stop us from doing anything, but we don't even get that far. We get Zombie Necronized, going into Crystron Halki Fibrax, getting the Glow-Up Bulb to bring out Lambda, which, of course, special summons a Baladrock, and, for good measure, Eldritch is on the field as well. Vampire Sucker comes out, and, of course, during the standby phase of this turn, we are going to get hit with a big fat Vampire Sucker effect. Baladrock is going to banish our 1 remaining fortress, and our hopes are looking bleak. We normal summon Silver Rocket Dragon, punch over the Vampire Sucker simply because we feel like it, passing turn back to Mothman himself, activating Baladrock from the graveyard to bring it back, which is going to normal summon the Shiranui, go into Dingears, who get rid of our Magic Cylinder, bringing back the Unizombie, and at this point, we already know that we're dead. This matchup is terrible, even with the new included Dragon Link package, because all of our monsters require a specific type, and Zombie ain't it, Chief. He passes back to us when we have 3,200 life points, and the only thing we have left is a Rocket Tracer. We draw for turn Cosmic Cyclone, attack the Zombie World, but he activates Needlebug Nest, hitting both a Glow-Up Bloom as well as Necrobolt Banshee, so we scoop. For the second match of today, we're playing against End of Battle Phase, who's bringing out Cosmo. He fires a Reasoning, and we name 4, but unfortunately it hits the Dark Destroyer, which is an 8, and then normal summoning the Tin Can, which is going to activate its effect to search 3 monsters, going for the Lady, I believe. We attempt a quick launch, but we're hit with an Ash Blossom, which unfortunately kind of kills our turn as we're forced to normal summon Rocket Recharger, going into our Striker Dragon, activating Boot Sector launch, but now with no real target because we needed the Rocket Tracer there. We activate our Machina Redeployment instead, going for the usual combo, but we are allowed to bring back Rocket Recharger to do this, going into Quad Burrow Dragon to attempt to destroy something. We go for the Dark Lady, but of course it is negated, but we perfect this destruction using the pitched 2 Dragon Lords. We go over the Cosmo Tin Can because it's the only thing we can do on our turn after summoning a Radiator, setting a card and passing turn, and Cosmo get really good during the battle phase. He goes for Stormtroopers, which we hit with the Solemn Judgment, bringing it back to Citadel, but it gets negated by Dark Lady, meaning we are once again in a shitty position as Dark Lady tanks out for Dark Destroyer breaking the other Dark Destroyer to special summon a Fort Runner, which is just enough damage to kill us. Oof. Game number 2, and we're yet again going to attempt to survive against Cosmo, which is easier said than done. We go for the Gear Frame. Gear Frame effect pitches us a Citadel, for which we go for the Irradiator, special summoning it, then going for the Air Raider to have 2 level apes to go straight into Dingo. No extra effect here, protecting the Dingo using our Gear Frame, and that's literally all we can do, just try and wall up against a deck that excels in the battle phase. I don't know what I was thinking here. Cosmo Town gets activated as he sets 1 card and then proceeds to do absolutely nothing. Kind of interesting. We special summon back our Gear Frame that has, for the first time, probably survived, bonking him for a nice chunk of damage here despite everything, but it is a bit weird against Cosmo to not see something called Come Down immediately. Battleface then decides to activate Cosmo Town, going for the plays here and getting the Tin Can off the draw, which brings out the Dark Destroyer, trying to break Dingirsu, which uses its own effect to protect itself, bringing back Tin Can using Cosmo Town, punching over the Dingirsu, once again protecting itself, and at this point we really need something. Bottomless Trapple might just do it. We set Bottomless Trapple, switch everything to defense position, hoping to bait out a Citadel, which is the only way we can get out of this. Battle phase into Dingirsu, of course, breaks it, but that doesn't summon the Citadel because it needs to be an Earth machine. Tin Can comes out, activating the effect in the end step to draw himself a Cosmo. We draw Return of the Dragon Lords, which is a dead card currently. We simply go to Battle Phase and beat into the Dark Destroyer to trigger the Citadel, going into the Citadel, which is forcing the Tin Can activation here, so we can blow up the Citadel and blow up both Dark Destroyers, but unfortunately this is going to be a lot of special summons for us to deal with as Cosmo Dark Lady hits the field once again. We do get Cosmo Dark Lady out using Bottomless Trap Hole, because it would have been popped by Red Ship anyway, as we set 1 card and we pray tell something happens. Cosmo Town gets activated, bringing back the Dark Destroyer, which he can afford to do, activating Allure of Darkness to draw 2 cards, banishing the Dark Destroyer again, normal summoning Farm Girl, and this is gonna get bad. Farm Girl effect is going to bring him Landwalker as he punches us in the face for a whole lot of damage, but we activate Damage Juggler to prevent us from absolutely dying. We buy ourselves 1 more turn, and it's a Dragon Shrine that might save us. We're gonna activate Dragon Shrine and get ashed. That's the end of the game, folks. Without the Absolouter Dragon we needed here, there is not a chance in hell we get it back. He activates Reasoning, gets a Gamma Shield off the top that we failed to call, and we scoop them up. Now, for match number 3, we're going back up against Mothwoman playing Fluffles. However, the first game of this match was lost due to, well, me being stupid and forgetting to save the replay, but the game was rather uneventful as we made her go first. She doesn't manage to set up a very good board, being Fluffle and all, and we managed to OTK in 1 turn using limiter removal. So we go into game number 2 with a win in our back, and our starting hand is looking very interesting as she forces us to go first. We activate Machina Redeployment as we usually do, pitching the Silver Rocket Dragon. We normal summon the Rocket Tracer, going into our Striker Dragon, activating Striker Dragon on itself to bring Rocket Tracer back with quick boot sector launch to our hand and pass turn. Foolish Burial Goods come down, dumping the Toy Vendor, bringing a Fluffle Penguin to hand. Setting to normal summoning Lilith and doing nothing tells me that there's probably an Edged Imp Scythe in our near future. We activate Cosmic Cycle, which hits a Fright for Patchwork. Interesting. We bash over the Lilith and we pass turn, knowing that we don't have a play to make off of it. As Fluffle Penguin comes down, Penguin is going to special summon Wings, which is going to be linked off for a Nightmare Phoenix, breaking our back row, which is Crusher Run. However, a Necrofusion gets flipped, getting a Kraken onto the board as we're punched for 1900 by Phoenix, but Kraken cannot attack the turn it's summoned, so we're safe from it for now. At this point, we simply decide to go for our Rocket Tracer, targeting itself to bring out the Rocket Recharger, then going for our Fortress by pitching the Air Raider in hand, punching over the Kraken to make sure that it can't go into defense position, but we're met with another Necrofusion. At this point, Sabertooth comes out, and the only out we have for it is Machina Overdrive here, as we attempt to do it to blow up the board immediately before it can gain more attack points. We do so, getting a Citadel back from our graveyard at this point, and we're back in the runner. Another Foolish Burial Goods comes down, pitching a Toy Vendor, going for Fluffle Octopus, but forgetting that all the materials have already been banished for Necrofusion. Ooh, ouchie. Machina Overdrive is going to come up here, shuffling 3 cards back in the deck to draw 1, and we draw the worst card we could. We go for the Machina Searcher, getting into battle, beating over the cute octopus, punching in the face for 3k, and now there's a 1-turn clock. We do decide to go for triple burst dragon here for absolutely no reason. I completely forgot what I was thinking, but it doesn't end up mattering too much as the normal summon is a dog, which is usually a very good top deck, but in this specific case it does very little because there's nothing to trigger a fusion. At this point we simply bring up Boot Sector Launch, we go to battle phase, punch over the dog, set 2 cards, pass turn, back to Mothwoman. It's gonna have to be one hell of a card. It is a Fluffle Bear, which sets a Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor gets flipped up, pitching the Dolphin in hand to get a Penguin. Penguin is going to be special summoned, but nothing is going to happen off of it, unfortunately, as we can simply get our Machina Fortress from hand and end the game. Well, we take a win today, at least. Isn't that neat? Now, the final game of today is an actual butt clencher. We are playing up against Lardax, who is playing some form of sealed-only Dragon Link, I think. I'm gonna call it that. We normal summon our Metal Boy, setting 2 cards face down, bringing a Fortress to hand and doing nothing. As we're met with Striker Dragon, we're going to Machina Overdrive here, destroying our gear frame to bring out Citadel just preemptively as Boot Sector Launch is played, activated for a Silver Rocket Dragon, and World Legacy Guard Dragon comes out with a quick launch. At this point, he goes into Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon, which we are forced to cause an explosion of, but he has the second quick launch in hand, which brings out Rocket Tracer, which allows him to go into Magna Rocket Dragon, Synchro Summoning Beezle. Oh boy, that card is really hard to out as it's immune to destruction and battle destruction. We're going for the Rocket Tracer, going to Absolute Dragon, which is going to bring us the Silver Rocket Dragon to hand, as it's the only real card we have here. Going for the Boot Sector Launch, activating Boot Sector Launch to bring out Silver Rocket Dragon, going into Nightmare Unicorn, which is our only out for Beezle. It's kind of ridiculous. We go for the Machina Overdrive here, drawing a Solemn Strike, which is probably the best card we could have drawn as we beat in with Nightmare Unicorn over nothing. At this point, Lardax is going to draw his card, which is going to be enough because of Boot Sector Launch, going for the Rocket Tracer, breaking Boot Sector Launch to bring out a Rocket Synchron, then special summoning the Absolute Dragon, going to Beezle again, but we Solemn Strike it. Now that it's gone permanently, we have a much better chance of winning. Another Rocket Tracer comes out, going into Time Thief Redoer as he punches into our face, and Redoer is actually somewhat hard to out here as well. Redoer is going to steal a monster from us as he activates Boot Sector Launch, going for the Rocket Tracer, breaking our own Boot Sector for the Rocket Recharger, using both of them as tribute material for Megaform, which I never thought I'd say in my entire life. We do get to punch straight into the face of him, though, as he banishes his own Time Thief Redoer to protect him, as we tag it out for a Citadel during main phase 2. We pass our turn, Redoer steals a card from us, and he passes turn back to us, and at this point, this is enough for game. We're going to normal summon the gear frame, activate gear frame effect just in case, and when we go to battle, he is forced to use the trap card he stole from us to bounce gear frame, but with limiter removal, it's just enough. Game number 2. Our starting hand is much worse, but we do have access to the quick launch, which is kind of neat. He will go ahead and go for the usual Dragon Link shenanigans, bringing out Striker Dragon, which of course is going to bring out Boot Sector Launch. Going for Herratic Spheres, that's such a good card! Oh no! Boot Sector Launch comes out again, activating the effect of Boot Sector Launch to summon both Silver Rocket and Rocket Tracer, going back into Beezle, and Beezle and Spheres might be impossible for us to get over. We're going to activate Quick Launch, going into our own Rocket Tracer at this point, going into our own Striker Dragon, which is going to bring us Boot Sector Launch. We're going to activate Boot Sector Launch, which causes the field to look very weird, summon a Fortress in our hand, which is going to get bounced thanks to Spheres, which is about what we expected. Absolute Dragon comes in with 0 that we have to destroy in order for him to draw a Rocket Tracer. We don't really have a choice of leaving it up because that could lead to another Synchro. We go for Boot Sector Launch in main phase 2, destroying Boot Sector Launch, using Rocket Tracer to bring out Silver Rocket Dragon, going into Unicorn and spinning back the Beezle once and for all, setting our last Solemn Strike to end the turn, and would you know, it's about to be a repeat. Boot Sector Launch gets activated, of course, bringing out the Rocket Tracer and then activating the Noctivision Dragon, which I am regretting not playing. At this point, he's going to once again Synchro back into Beezle, but we hit it with another Solemn Strike, but he goes into Triple Burst, which is just big enough to beat over our big Unicorn. We go for the Crusher Run activation here because we find it to be silly and we were laughing about it in the Discord court we had. And we draw into Cosmic Cyclone. That does us literally nothing. We have to pass turn here, hoping he's not able to kill us this turn, and he has nothing, so simply punching us for 24 and passing turn back to us is all he can do. We draw Citadel for turn, which we have to pitch to bring out Fortress, and unfortunately we have to punch over this Triple Burst, which activates Rocket Recharger, bringing back the Rocket Tracer once more. Lardax is going to summon Defrag Dragon, which brings out Red Eyes Darkness Metal, which brings back Herratic Spheres, but that is not the problem. The problem is Borreload. No, he was supposed to work for us this entire time. Borreload is going to steal our Machina Fortress, unfortunately, as we take a big beating to the face, and limiter removal is not going to save us. And because Borolo Dragon sends the card to the graveyard and doesn't destroy it at the end of the turn, there's not much we can do. We decide to activate everything we have and then take an honorable defeat. Now for Game 3. This has been an exciting duel so far. Let's see what we can do about it. We go for an Air Raider setting 2, pitching a Mega Form to the graveyard here with a Galactic Spiral in hand, which is horrible. As we once again get met with shenanigans. What a surprise. Rocket Tracer comes to hand here thanks to Absurado Dragon with a Dragon Shrine that's going to pick the weird level 5 I never remember the name of. Striker Dragon comes down with Boot Sector Launch, which we are going to hit with Cosmic Cyclone, but that doesn't stop him because he already has one in hand. Ouch. Rocket Tracer is going to break Striker Dragon here, so we go ahead and immediately hit the Overdrive to get Citadel onto the board before we are met with the Giant Beezle again, activating the effect of our Megaform, thankfully, as he can only bring back a Rocket Tracer and pass turn. We managed to avoid Beezle for 1 turn at the very least, but that's about it because we got rid of our Fortress. We have to tag out the Megaform, going into Citadel yet again, activating the Overdrive to shuffle 3 cards back in and draw a card, drawing into... Blast Trigger. Well, regardless, we are going to go in and attack, and we're going to be hit by the Magic Cylinder, causing us to blow up our own Citadel, to him activating Crackdown, forgetting that's not how layering effects work, and we blow up the field anyway. Unfortunately, he has just enough to bring back his Rocket Tracer, meaning we're up against Beezle once again. We take 3k from Beezle as he passes turn back to us, and Redeployment might just be the best card we could have gotten here. We pitch a Citadel off a Redeployment's effect using our Machina Fortress to get Megaform into the graveyard once again, and now it's just a stalling game. He punches over a Fortress, which activates Fortress's and Citadel's effect, meaning we can go and summon Citadel once more. He passes back to us, we draw a Cosmic Cyclone, which does absolutely nothing, so we're forced to set it, changing our Citadel to defense mode, and we're now at the mercy of the heart of the cards. Dragon Shrine is going to dump Absurado Dragon, which is going to give Rocket Synchron to hand, normal summoning the Rocket Synchron in order to bring back Absurado Dragon. This is going to trigger Rapid Trigger, which we are forced to explode on to make sure we don't have to deal with Borreload Furious Dragon. We take another 3k, and we're sitting at 1,000, drawing into at least an Earth Machine that can defend us for a turn as we set it, hoping it gets nothing, and he doesn't. He beats into our Earth Machine, which is going to bring back Citadel yet again to make us survive another turn, given that he doesn't get a monster. At this point, we get an Air Raider, which is enough to bring back our Fortress from the graveyard, yet again protecting us just in case he draws something that can kill us, and he doesn't. He goes into battle phase, beating over our Fortress, which is going to activate the second Citadel and graveyard, meaning we still have 2 defenders, and any card here that spins this Beezle back is the best we can get. And we get Crusher Run. Yikes, that's not what we wanted. We are yet again at the mercy of his top deck, and he draws World Legacy Guard Dragon. We flip up Crusher Run, but that does bring the Rocket Tracer back as he gets back into Dragon Link Shenanigans combos. We are forced to blow up the field here yet again, meaning we are now only 1 card away from destruction yet again, and even further away from an out, until we top deck Quick Launch. We activate Quick Launch, which brings us the Rocket Tracer, meaning we can activate Tracer's effect to destroy Crusher Run to get the Silver Rocket Dragon. We're then able to special summon the Galactic Spiral Dragon we've had in our hand the entire game to go into Striker Dragon, which gives us the Boot Sector Launch, and we can activate Galactic Spiral Dragon's effect to make all of our monsters level 8s, which means we can go into Dingu. Dingu can get rid of Beezle once and for all, so we can punch in for a nice chunk of damage. And then, during the main phase 2, we sack our Striker Dragon to get Rocket Tracer back, just so we can't just summon a monster and punch over us. And he doesn't get anything for his turn. He passes turn back to us without doing anything, and at this point we have just enough damage by normal summoning Rocket Tracer and winning the game off of it. Holy crap, that's the closest game we've had so far. You know what? I'm actually impressed by the performance of the Rocket package here. Yeah, obviously we don't really have a payoff to using them yet because we're not playing enough of them to, you know, swarm the board or anything. But I'll be honest, Rocket Tracer's a hell of a card. Together with Boot Sector Launch, that thing gets incredibly scary. We not only managed to out a board that I thought was going to be impossible thanks to Beezle, we actually managed to take 2 wins off of today. That's not bad! 2 wins is something I'll definitely be happy about, considering this was the biggest Lupine Weekly we've had yet. So you know what? Taken. If you guys would like to join the Lupine Weekly every week, remember, it's free of charge. Just come join. It's like an online locals. It's on the Discord. Hop on. Regardless of that, we are going to add 375 DP as our bonuses for this week. If you have no clue what these bonuses are, I suggest you check the ending of episode 1 to find out. Other than that, we finally have rerolls available in the store. This is going to be massive going forward as we're finally in control over what we can open. Yes, we're going to have to spend some DP to shuffle things around if we want to, but just having the possibility is huge. Regardless of that, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, click the subscribe button down below, click the like button, leave a comment, you know the drill. If you're in the mood for some TCG supplies, we have an affiliate link over to Inked Gaming down in the description below, so go click on that if you want. If you want to support the show other than that, you know there's Patreon and YouTube membership that gives you some smirky perks. As always, stay safe out there.